What's going on, everybody? We were having some technical difficulties. So today we're going to talk about why does God allow bad things to happen? Isn't that a question? Have you questioned that before? I know I have. I know I've talked to people who have felt like that. I'm trying to make sure we're in here. I know we've talked to people. I've talked to people that felt like that. All these things happen to me. Good things happen to bad people, and I'm minding my business and all of this and all of that. It is something to think about. But like I said, here it is. It's 2 o'clock on a Friday. Happy Friday to you. As you know, I come in, I introduce the topic, and then we go into the video, which includes, like I promised last week in the last video, last Friday, Sheila Gillette, who channels the Archangels Theo, and Racqi has a video that supports this topic as well. So, stay right here, y'all, and let's get it started. Why does God allow bad things to happen? I've had this conversation with people before. I've heard people ask it, and I've even wondered it when I was younger. And as I've grown older, I've come into some things where I understand things to be differently. But we so often put it on God. Why? God loves us, right? He's all knowing, he's all loving. Why does he allow this? Why are people getting shot up, carjacked, somebody's grandma getting raped? Who would do that to an old lady? Why do these things happen? Why do kids get abused? Well, we're going to try to answer that question for you today. I've got 2 videos. One is with Sheila Gillette. Sheila Gillette is a channeler, and what she channels is 12 archangels known as Theo. And Theo will be answering that question. Also, I have another TikTok video from New Solar Ray, and she will be talking about Jesus being tempted. So, my name is Racquel, and you have tuned into Racqi Road TV, here where we laugh, we learn, we brainstorm, and expand our consciousness together. Don't you click off this video, because we're going to get right back and get into it. Stay with me. Thank you for choosing Racqi Road TV, a channel where the viewer is spiritual royalty. Here on Racqi Road TV, you and I laugh, learn, brainstorm, and expand our consciousness together. My name is Racquel, your earthly spirit guide and spiritual alchemist. Please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. If you clicked on this video, it was meant for you, so stick around. Thank you so much for sticking with me. So we're going to go ahead and hit this thing off right with the Sheila Gillette video with Theo. And Theo's going to give us the rundown on why God allows bad things to happen.
Why, when people pray, do sometimes angels assist them and sometimes they don't?
They always assist them, but they may not get what they want. It may not be in the highest good of their soul. And the soul has control, not the personality.
Why does God allow bad things to happen?
It's people that bad things happen. It's personality disorder. It's human activity. God is a loving God. But you have the power. That's what we're here to let you know. Each and every one of you have a convenient excuse that God did this or that to you. Nothing happens to you, it happens through you. Life happens through you and for you, not to you. Life is a gift. There are billions of souls that would like to have a human body. You won the lottery. You got one. And so what you do with that is of great importance, particularly now, in this shift of consciousness. And what you are doing in informing people of the power within is a purposeful gift you give them.
I want you to go ahead and check out the video we did last week. Video from last week is entitled, Who or What is God? And it includes the video with Sheila Gillette. This was the same interview. It's been broken up, of course. And she explains, she gives the information on what God is. She makes that clear. Theo does the archangel. Sheila is the one channeling, but you know what I mean. So I really want you to watch that. And then we had another video with New Solar Ray sharing some stuff as well. So it's really good. But anyway, let's get to the clip. What it really boils down to, it seems like for the last few weeks, right? Accountability is a big thing. We got to understand that God is the creator, the infinite intelligence that is expressing itself through human vessels. But we still have a human vessel that's animalistic in nature. So you have to take accountability of your actions. And the things that pop up in your animalistic mind does not mean that you need to act on them. And there are consequences, be it good or bad. And sometimes those consequences, they pass on to other people. They ricochet and hit other people in this path. Let's give an example. Some sick asshole had an idea that it was going to find himself or herself playing in the pants of a child. Maybe their own child. Who knows? The child. The child never gets help, never deals with the shame and the confusion and everything going on. Now, this person grows up to victimize other people. And then someone finally says something, and the next thing you know, someone gets mad, and then they unalive someone because of what happened to their family member. And then it just goes on, and now somebody can potentially lose their loved one because they're going to jail. You see, it's one big thing that just keeps on going. But when it's checked, you can stop it. When it's addressed, we can stop the damage. God is expressing itself through the good and the bad. And this is what we call it. We call it good or bad. These are just experiences. This is just expressions of Creator. So I am going to get to the new Solar Ray video to further expound kind of what I was saying with the whole Jesus on the mountain scenario. Check it out.
What never made sense to me is when Jesus was fasting 40 days and 40 nights, and then the devil came up to him and said to him, if you break your fast, I'll give you the world's pleasures, the cities, everything will be yours. Why is the devil tempting God with everything he already has? Think about it. It doesn't make sense, does it? Why are you tempting me with what I already own? I already have I created it. I'm God, right? So when I say God is also the devil, as in the devil being a representation of his lower state of consciousness, his animalistic mind, his ego, or what the religious people call the flesh, I'm called blasphemous. Understand that the devil isn't an entity outside of God. It is also God. It's the yin and yang. It's the law of polarity that creates an experience. It's the dark and the light. It's the good and the bad. It's states of consciousness, the high and the low. Jesus, of course, in the state having his ego, his animalistic mind, tempting him, his high state of consciousness, to do something. It's the same way you, when you're trying to become whoever you want to become, having your ego, having your flesh trying to tempt you. That's what it is. And when people blame this guy with horns and a fork for their own experiences, it's again extrapolating their power to some sort of entity outside there. It doesn't make sense. You guys remember when you're growing up, when they'll say stuff like you have the devil on your shoulder just as much as you have the angel on your shoulder. You need both. The ego versus the soul, heart versus the mind, the same thing. It's not separate from one another. You need both to create experience. The whole point of, spirituality, religion as well, is to get angel to transcend the devil, soul to transcend the flesh, the ego, the devil. That's what it is. You need two in one, but you need to transcend, because you don't want to be operating from your lower states of consciousness. You don't want to be operating from the animalistic point of view. You want to be transcending, right, to what people call the Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness isn't, Jesus's name. It's a title. It's the status to get to that point of consciousness. Anyone can, even Jesus said it. You can do things better than me. That's what it is. Religious books is just a guide on how you can be the better version, the best version of yourself. It's about you. It's got nothing to do with anything outside of you, in my opinion, of course. It's a guide. What would Jesus do? Jesus being just energy that you can tap in. In that story, Jesus, of course, transcended the ego using his highest state of consciousness. That is what you should be doing as well. It's a story about you and how you can achieve what you want. Jesus achieved what he wanted through that whole story, becoming Christ. He is becoming that title again. So you do the same thing, asking yourself, what would Jesus do? Jesus being the energy you can tap into right now, and that Jesus energy overcoming and transcending the devil energy you also have.
Notice she also brought up the animal brain, right? In the Bible, it tells us that God wrapped himself down in flesh and came down as his son to sacrifice himself or whatever. Same thing. We are like a Jesus, so to speak. We just don't realize our power. Some are more enlightened. You'll see a lot of people, you'll be like, dog, that man always deep, or she always deep. It's not that serious. There's different levels of consciousness, but let's say Jesus in the Bible that they're depicting him as, he was more of the one that was tapped in and turned on. on. Here it is, he's sitting thinking about this whole hookup on the mountain, and the animal brain, the ego, and what we call the devil comes in with these thoughts. And it's like he had to check him. He had to check himself. So that would be the same thing you would do with some crazy mess come in your mind. You got to check it. You can't blame it on God. You can't blame it on the infinite intelligence that's expressing itself. Think about it. Creator is all love, perfection. That intelligence, that energy, that energetic field is already perfection. So of course, why would it wrap itself in flesh to experience the same things that it already is? So there is going to be some polarity. There is going to be some low vibrations of what you would call the devil and stuff like that. This is what we conjured up and made horns. Ultimately, we actually just blame a lot of our bullshit on that we don't want to take accountability for the things that we do. We don't want to check ourselves. We don't want to sit down with ourselves and look at how we can be better people. I believe, it is of my opinion, our issue is the lack of accountability. And that's with a lot of things. Look at things as just an experience. Be an observer of things. Begin to look inward and tune yourself up, and begin to tune yourself in a way that you want the world to appear, because it starts with you. We got to stop blaming God, and we got to stop blaming the devil. These are metaphorical alibis we give for the bullshit or the things that we cannot understand. We got to take accountability. We're about to get to the question and answer portion of this live. That's when I'm going to come back on. I'm probably going to be wearing something different because I ain't going to wear the same thing. It's going to be a different day. And we'll be able to talk about this in person or talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can ask your questions, give your feedback. What do you think about that? Did that kind of make you think different? Did it strike something on you? How was your perception beforehand as opposed to now? Maybe you're still in the same headspace, and that's okay, as long as we remain respectful in the comments. I just want to let you know, if you would like to be interviewed for Candid Stories of My Soul, you can contact me. You see the information on the screen. That's right, Candid Stories of My Soul is my podcast that's also featured on here, where I interview other people and they talk about their spiritual journeys, because all of our journeys is spiritual. We're all spirits wrapped in human flesh. So that's just what it is. They talk about their journeys, and you have a lot of different people. You've got mediums, tarot readers, just people that identify as aliens, star seeds, whatever. I got them on there. Near-death experiences. Very good show if you're interested. I'm also trying to build the Sacred Safe Space community. It's an online community where we get on together and we just kick it. If you got something on your heart you want to talk about, then we can talk about that. And you never know. I actually had somebody pop on my live on TikTok the other day. It was yesterday, actually. It'll be the other day when you see this. They asked me a question and they really enjoyed my response. I decided to indulge it because sometimes you don't know, people be in the comments on the BS, but I was like, let me go ahead and answer this, and it turned out to go well because the person was very sincere and I was happy to help with my advice. So I'm not saying I know everything. It's really a community-based thing. It's not about me. It's about, you know what I say, we come here to laugh, learn, brainstorm, and expand our consciousness together. So it's a group thing, and there's stuff on here that you're gonna laugh. These lives have been a little bit more serious. They ain't really necessarily funny, but trust me, we gonna get to the laughing for sure. And that's where you follow me on different social media platforms, which you can get with the link, which is RacquiRoadTV.com/network, and that's in the information. I have an ebook that's 14 pages long, including the cover, so it's not hard to read, honey. It's called Hidden in Plain Sight. It's a story about my Kinfolk. It's a good one. It has positive feedback. A new video drops every Thursday at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a Candid Stories of My Soul video. It's going to be an interview. And then on Friday, you'll see I will go live like I am now at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. At the beginning, I will introduce the video. We will cut to the video. So I'm going to come in live. I'm going to cut to the video I've already edited as you're watching like now as an example. And then we go back into the Q&A. And so that will happen on Fridays. All right, y'all. I thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please make sure that you like and share this video. And we are getting back to the Q&A part. Thanks for watching. And we're back. We are back. So what did you think about that? What is your perspective on that? Is it really God that is allowing bad things to happen? I mean, if we're looking at it from the fact that we are the spark of Creator, right? The infinite intelligence that has wrapped itself up in different flesh bodies to experience and expand the opposite of it. Then, if you want to put it that way, but no, it's the human part. It's going through the experience. But I really want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments, please. Because this is the question and answer portion. I thank y'all so much for watching. I really do. I have fun doing these. You know, I'll be back again next Friday. I'm cutting it short because it doesn't seem to be a lot of people in here as of now, and no one's asking questions. So I appreciate you. Again, share this video.